Okay, so I've done a few top-down analysis, guys, and what I want to do now is essentially show you how I go about on the charts and what I'm looking to do. So I'm going to do a full overview of a top-down analysis, and we're going to use Eurjpy because that's in one of the comments what someone's asked to have a look at. So the very first thing you have to do when you are on the monthly time frame, okay, you have to start from the top down, and there are always questions you need to ask yourself, and I refer to these as kind of like the 4 W's. The first question you need to ask yourself is, where is the money? Then you need to be thinking, where is price in drawdown? You then need to ask yourself, what is price doing now? You then need to ask yourself, what is the overall agenda? Now, these are the questions you have to focus on asking yourself in every single time frame, all the way from the top down to the bottom, which is why we call it a top-down analysis. So we're on the monthly time frame, and we're going to try and keep this here with us. So let me just copy this. So first question we need to answer, where is the money? So I need to be scouring the time frames, and you can go as far back as, you know, even 2003. It's all completely relevant. And, you know, I can see here we've got these relative equal lows placed right here. So that there is my liquidity. We've got money down there. We've got, you know, liquidity in the form of these lows. We've got some trend lines coming in. I'm only going to focus on, you know, equal highs and equal lows for now. We've got this high here, which is obviously an area for price to come to. Now, the second question, where is price in drawdown? And that is where there's a candle that's not yet been mitigated. So, you know, I know we're in drawdown here because this candle has not yet been mitigated into. And we're in drawdown here because this candle has not yet been mitigated into. And we're in drawdown here because this candle has not yet been mitigated into. So I'm identifying areas where price is in drawdown, and I'm also identifying where there's money in the markets. You know, as well as looking, you know, there's this obvious high up here. That's where the money is. We've got liquidity down here as well. So we kind of got liquidity both ends, and we're doing, you know, identifying where price is in drawdown. So what is price doing now is the next question. And price is obviously reacting inside this monthly area here. So we can see here we're inside this monthly area. Okay. This is the last down candle before price is pushed higher. This is an institutional candle, a very strong one as well. And price is obviously broken above this liquidity just here as well. So when price is broken above that liquidity, we can anticipate price coming down again. Now, we're not really going to get a picture of what price is doing now until we go to a lower time frame. But in terms of what the overall agenda is, we need to obviously zoom out, and we can see, well, we've got this massive range coming down here. We came back into it, and then we dropped again. But we are in this consolidation range. So, you know, one could argue on a monthly perspective, you are consolidating. But when you look a little bit closer to home, you can see that price is pushing higher, even though we're in an area we could technically move down from. But, you know, until we get a break of structure in the monthly, I'm going to assume we are bullish on the higher time frames at the moment. So I need to keep this here, and I'm now going to go down to a weekly time frame, and I'm going to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Now, again, where's my stuff? Right here. So the first question we ask ourselves, where is the money? And again, you can scour the time frames and you can look for areas where you think there's going to be money. So I know there's liquidity right here in the form of these equal lows. You know, we've got this little trend line forming right here with money. You know, obviously there's going to be liquidity at the highs and the lows and things like that. You know, again, we know where the money is on the high end up here on the monthly. But yeah, looking at the weekly, that's where, you know, we're looking for price to go at the moment. Now, the next question, where is price in drawdown? So I'm looking for a candle that's not had price come back to it yet, and that's this candle here. So price is in drawdown right here. You know, we had price mitigating and then push higher there. And, you know, the same area we've got on the monthly is the same on the weekly. I am going to just move this over just to keep things simple. We're not going back to a monthly just yet, so we're in drawdown there as well. You know, so essentially what I'm kind of seeing at the moment is what may be something that can play out is something like that. That would work and it would make sense, but it doesn't always play out that way. So what is price doing now? Well, we've made a low below this low here, and we could potentially be accumulating. So that's what price is really up to at the moment. And then what is the overall agenda? Now, you know, it's quite difficult if you're new to trading to identify if this is actually bullish or bearish, because, you know, overall price is moving higher, as you can see, but we have actually closed below this low here. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're bearish. It kind of just means that we're going to have to wait and see what the overall bias is. I would still go by the monthly and say we're bullish just by looking at price moving a little bit higher. So yeah, we'll work around that for now. And then we're going to move down to a daily time frame. And again, I need my areas here to work with. So, you know, again, where's the money? We know there's money here because that's what we've identified. We can see this little trend line being formed. There's money there. You know, these equal highs right here. And this is just all you got to do every time frame. Just search for the money. Okay, search for the money, because this is areas price could go to. Okay, so yeah, at the moment, what I'm seeing is price is on both ends. There's liquidity. Where is price in drawdown? So I'm going to define this area, refine this area here, move that there, because that's where we're in drawdown. You know, we're technically in drawdown under this liquidity just here as well. I'm not really bothered about what's going on over here at the moment on the daily time frame. I'm only really bothered about what's in front of my screen, and that is what I'm showing you here. So in terms of, you know, where we're in drawdown, we can look to the left. We can identify we've got liquidity areas up here. We've got liquidity here. We've got liquidity in the middle. We've got this area which is in drawdown, and we've got, you know, this area here which is in drawdown as well. So, you know, what is price doing now? We've obviously made a new low. We've started to consolidate, in my opinion. That is consolidation now. We're not really making an agenda to push in any direction. And what is the overall agenda? On the daily, it actually looks pretty bearish, in my opinion, because this is the high, this is the low, this is a lower high, this is a lower low, and we've not broken out of this consolidation range yet. But until we do, I'm assuming we're going to react to come lower just by going what structure's actually doing. So, you know, we are in an area where we could definitely redistribute to come even lower. So let's look and see, you know, what we do from here. But that's the overall agenda for me. And then we can go down to a 4-hour time frame. Now, this is where it gets more interesting, because we're looking for areas to obviously get into. Now, again, we ask ourselves, where's the money? We can see that the liquidity is right here. So we've identified that already. Is there any other areas we can see potential liquidity? I mean, look at this, equal lows right there. So we've got money down there. So there's a lot of liquidity on these charts, guys. You know, a lot of liquidity on these charts right now. It's always worth looking in. It doesn't have to be perfect. So like relative equal lows here, for example, liquidity. Yeah, just keep searching, keep scouring for the markets. Okay, where is price currently in drawdown? So on the 4-hour, we're in drawdown right here. And, you know, around here, we're not really in drawdown in any areas at the moment. Maybe this institutional candle right here, because price never mitigated into it. Where's my questions? What is price doing now? And to me, this is, you know, we've broken above this high here. We've reacted in this candle, you know, here, which is our daily area, and we are kind of making our way a little bit lower at the moment. So, you know, my opinion at the moment is that price is ranging lower. I'm not going to say necessarily we're bearish, because we have broken above here, so it's in consolidation. You know, on the daily I said it was in consolidation. I'm still saying, you know, on the 4-hour it's more of a consolidation phase at the moment. You know, so what is the overall agenda? I mean, I'm going up to the daily again just to refine, but it is bearish on the daily. And I'd probably say the same here for, you know, even though we've broke above here, I do think way it's walking price down. You know, the fact that we've taken this liquidity to react in here with this massive expansion to the downside is actually telling me that price is bearish. So yeah, the overall agenda for me is probably bearish. It's just not an overall trading environment at the moment. So, you know, looking at the 1 hour again, you know, let's ask ourselves the questions. Where's the money? So we've identified the money here. Is there any more areas we can see liquidity? I mean, to be honest, I would consider this whole entire range to be in the form of liquidity. But, you know, it's difficult. We've kind of done all that already on the 4 hour. So yeah, just a case of scouring around for the money. We can see that there was money here, which was taken by this low. This high was taken. So yeah, definitely can see the liquidity grabs and things like that. Now, where is price in drawdown? So on the 1 hour, you know, the only place I can really see at the moment is about here. So that area is in drawdown. We have got price in drawdown over here as well, so that's obviously worth keeping an eye on as well. And as of now, you know, price, so I'm just going to move this so you can see it. We're in drawdown here as well. This candle's in drawdown. Price broke above. Price came into the imbalance, pushed higher. Now we're coming back. We're reacting in this candle here, right here. So yeah, to answer what is price doing now, well, it's about to come into a new low. So it's reacting in a low, potentially accumulating on a smaller time frame. So what is the overall agenda? I mean, again, we're in this consolidation range at the moment, but I would say the 1 hour I'm not really going to give an overall agenda to. It is, you know, high, low. I mean, it's technically bearish because that's the high, that's the low, and all this in here is kind of consolidation. So, you know, the moral of this story on Eurjpy is that for me at the moment, there isn't really anywhere I'd be interested in. If we look at a 15-minute for potential scalping opportunities, I would be looking for price to react to finish above this area here before I was going to buy. You know, going by the 1 hour, it is in an area where we have broken, we have come down again. So you can see here again, where's the money? We can see 15-minute structure there. There's liquidity. We've also had this liquidity grab, and we are now, you know, reacting in this candle here. I would want to wait for extra evidence. If price closes above this area here and then comes down to mitigate, I'd look to take price higher into these areas here. Now, essentially, you can look for sells in this area here, but there's liquidity right there. So that is a real red flag for any trader. So yeah, what is the overall agenda? I mean, it's technically, the 15-minute is technically bearish. So it is looking to come lower, but you've got liquidity here as well. And this is candles in drawdown. I would argue that that's also liquidity in the form of these lows. And yeah, to be honest, we've got liquidity right here as well. So we've got plenty of reason for price to definitely come lower. So the trade opportunity is actually seen in here, but it's not a trade opportunity I'd be willing to take. And that's because there's liquidity right there. And I'm not going to take it with liquidity and news coming up in the same day. So, you know, guys, there you have it. That there is your full top-down analysis. And just to kind of recap what you need to do, you need to go on every single time frame and you need to ask yourself, firstly, where is the money? Secondly, where is price in drawdown? Thirdly, what is price doing now? Fourth, what is the overall agenda? Do that on every single time frame from the monthly all the way down, and then you'll eventually start to see you don't need to go any lower than the 1 hour or the 15-minute, and because we're not looking for necessarily trading opportunities at the moment because they're not in environments where we would like to trade. So yeah, to sum up, guys, use this. Let's call it the 4 W's, if you will, and let me know what you think. Let me know how you go on, guys.